And good morning, everyone. Wonderful sunny morning out there, a little bit windy. And this morning, as always, I'm going to be doing a nice, relaxing class for you guys. So, nothing too crazy at all. As it's going to be every Sunday. This is the normal class that I would do at 9:30. So, it's really, really suitable for beginners, and it's just going to be a nice wake up, gentle stretch to start our Sunday day. So I hope you're all well. I hope you've all been enjoying my videos. I know some of you can't watch live, but have been watching. When you have some time after you finish work or whatever. And as I mentioned yesterday in my post, it's just great to be able to do this for you guys and to still provide a space for you to practice with me, and just find a little bit of peace during these times. I know for a lot of you, you don't have a home practice. So you still need some kind of guidance, but hopefully, eventually, and maybe after what's going on, you've created your space now at home, your little yoga space, and maybe you'll continue to practice at home when the classes start again. If you can't make it to class, it's always nice to have your own yoga space. This is my yoga room. This is where I practice every day, and it's where I do my one-to-one classes as well. And it's such a peaceful space. When I come in here, it's just everything's just so set and ready, and my mind is, as soon as I walk through that door, it's peaceful. So I encourage you all to create a nice little space in your house where you can do your yoga practice, your meditation practice as well, if you're practicing meditation. Enough of my ramblings. We will start. We'll start the class. So let's all come to lie down on our backs, nice and easy. And you can have the knees pointing towards the ceiling if you wish, or you can have the legs straight, kind of more of a shavasana pose, but it's whatever feels good for you. And just bringing your hands onto your abdomen. Let's close the eyes. And let's get settled in. It's such a wonderful time to practice first thing in the morning. Although the body is a little bit more stiff, so during the practice it can seem a little bit tougher, but you'll float through the rest of the day. So let's just soften the forehead, soften behind the eyes. Allow the jaw to be relaxed, creating space between your back teeth. Allow your body to be heavy, supported by the earth. And let's just take a moment to notice how we feel. As always, without judgment. So for me, I'm just feeling tired right now. It's been a long week. noticing any emotions. And noticing the mind, the state of the mind. Maybe asking yourself why you turned up on your mat right now. What are your intentions for the practice this morning? And there's no right or wrong answer, it's whatever feels good for you, whatever you need right now. And let's bring our focus to our breath. Just notice the quality of the breath. And let's begin to deepen the breath when you're ready. So taking a few inhales into your abdomen. And when you're ready, just start to bring that breath up the body into the chest. Feeling your ribs expand, armpit to armpit. And as always, starting to take control of the breath now. As we pull the breath from the unconscious into the conscious. As you start to deepen the breath, just notice if you feel any sensations in the body. As we start to draw more oxygen into the body, into the cells. And let's heel toe the feet together. Straighten the legs. Interlace the fingers and take the arms above the head for a deep stretch. Finding that full extension through the spine. And feeling that hollowing in the abdomen as you create space there. And as you stretch, can you draw the navel to the spine? Can you lift the pelvic floor? Can you find that vacuum in the abdominal area? And we'll draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. And maybe taking a rock from side to side. And we'll take the arms out to a T. Just palms up or palms down, whatever feels good for you. Stacking the knees over the hips. Nice right angle in the back of those knees. Take an inhale. Then as we exhale, just taking the knees to the left, just slightly. Inhale, bring the knees back through center. And exhale over to the right. Inhale, draw the knees back through center. Exhale, take them to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to the right. We're going a little bit deeper this time if you can. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, coming back through center. Just tucking that tailbone under. Just making sure that lower back is connected to the mat. We'll interlace the fingers behind the head. And we'll pick the head and shoulders off the mat. Draw the elbows towards the knees. And we're just going to hold it here. Just finding that crunch position. Feeling the core wake up here. Keep those deep breaths going. Holding a little bit longer. And release head and shoulders back to the mat. We'll take those arms back out to a T. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, let's lower the legs with control all the way to the mat now. To the floor. As we take that supine twist. And just dropping the head over to the right. Releasing the spine. Draw the head back to center. And inhale, draw the knees back through center. Exhale, nicely with control. Dropping those knees over to the right now. And dropping your head to the left. And as always, just trying to stay present. Keeping those controlled breaths going. And just noticing how the body feels. Noticing where you're feeling this pose working in your body. Draw the head back to center. Draw the knees back to center. Give yourself a squeeze. And we'll drop the left foot onto the mat. We're going to come into half happy baby. So bringing that right hand up, taking hold of the heel. You can take the big toe or you can take the outside of the foot. If you can't get to the foot, as always, You can just bring the hand to the back of the thigh or the back of the calf. And we're just going to draw that right knee down to the outside of the body. Flex the right ankle so the toes are pulling back towards the shin and the heel is to the ceiling. Let's just stretch out the hips. Also working into the hamstrings in that right leg. And we'll bring that right foot across the body and drop it just above that left knee. One of my favorite postures, a recline pigeon. Option to stay here, of course, just apply a little bit of pressure to that right knee. Or pick up that left foot, interlace the fingers behind the back of the left thigh or in front of the left shin, whatever feels good in your body. As we stretch out those glutes. And let's make some rotations with that left ankle. Nice and controlled. And just finding your full range through that ankle. And let's make those rotations the opposite way now. If the tension has released a bit in that right hip, just apply a little bit more pressure here. Yeah, nothing too crazy. And releasing the leg, just bringing that left foot back to the mat. We'll bring the right foot onto the mat and we'll do the same on the other side. So picking that left foot up again for that happy baby. Option to take the big toe, you can take the leg, or you're taking the outside of the foot, the elbow draws inside of that leg and we're pulling that knee down to the mat. And keeping the left ankle flexed, so point the heel towards the ceiling. And again, just connecting to how this feels in your body. Where do you feel this stretch? And keep those breaths going. And we'll release the foot and we'll drop that left ankle just above the right knee now. For our pigeon pose on left side. So again, you can stay here, you can lift that leg up, interlace the fingers behind the back of the thigh or in front of the shin. And just working into those outer glutes. And again, let's make some rotations with that right ankle. And making the rotations the opposite way. We're going to apply a little bit more pressure to that right thigh, the right leg. If that left hip feels like it's opened a little bit more here. And releasing the leg, we'll drop that right foot onto the mat and hook the left foot from the right leg, and we'll draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Taking the hands underneath the thighs, and we'll start to rock forwards and backwards. And on your next rock, we'll rock up to seated. And we'll find a cross-legged position. Sitting nice and tall. So we're going to wake up the spine. This is something that John Scott always uses to start his classes off, and they're really, really good to do first thing in the morning. It works through all the movements in the spine. And if you've been to my classes, you know I like to do these quite often. So we'll interlace the fingers. I'm not going to do the count. We'll just work through them. It's all good. Interlace the fingers, and as we inhale, we're going to tip the hips forward, find full extension through the spine, looking up. And as we exhale, bringing the hands behind the head, flexing through the spine, the hips go back, the chin comes to the chest. Inhale, hips forward, opening the chest, nice and long through the spine, reaching. And as we exhale, the hands go forward this time, flexion through the spine, hips moving back. Bring the hands towards the heart. Inhale, open through the chest, looking up, finding that extension. And exhale, pressing the hands away. Finding flexion through your spine, drop the hips back. Inhale, reaching up again. And exhale, the right hand comes to the mat. And we're going to find some side flexion. So again, the hand or elbow comes to the mat as we reach over, looking down. Inhale, gaze towards the extended hand. Exhale, look down. And inhale to come back through center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. Find the extension. Hips forward, open the chest. And exhale, side flexion to the opposite side now. So it's the left hand coming down. And inhale, gaze towards the extended hand. Exhale, looking down. Coming back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. And exhale, folding forward over the right knee. So it's a twist and a fold. Bringing the forehead down towards the knee. Inhale to spiral tall. Left hand onto the knee, right hand behind the back. And exhale, twisting, gazing over the right shoulder. Coming back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist and fold over the left knee now. Inhale to spiral tall, right hand on the knee, left hand behind the back. And exhale, twisting and gazing over your left shoulder. And coming back to center, interlace fingers, inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Good stuff. Let's take the hands in front and let's make our way to a tabletop position. So we'll continue to warm up the spine with some cat-cow. So the knees, hips width apart and directly underneath those hips. The fingers spread, the palms pressing the mat away. Wrap the triceps under. As we inhale, let's drop the navel, lift the sit bones, heart forward, looking up. And as we exhale, let's round through the spine. Chin comes to the chest. Inhale, untuck that tailbone, navel drops. Find opening, find length through your abs. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Really flexing, pressing through the shoulders. And inhale to look up. As always, move a little bit quicker or a little bit more slowly to stay with your own breath here. And just really start to connect movement with breath. We'll do a couple more rounds. And working our way back to a neutral spine. We're going to come into puppy pose. So for me, I like to bring my feet to the back of the mat, just to give me a little bit more mat space in front. And in our puppy, let's bring the knees together actually. Bring the knees together. Keeping the hips over the knees, you're just going to start to walk the hands forward. This is going to be, for some people, quite an intense posture in the shoulders. If it's too intense, you can always just drop back and come into more of a child's pose position. Otherwise, we're going to start to walk those hands forward, finding length through the body, and just dropping the forehead to the mat. Finding that stretch through your shoulders, through your upper back. And if you're going well, maybe you want to walk the hands a little bit further forward, maybe bringing chin onto the mat. Really feeling that length through the abs. So for me, I really feel this through my abdominals. It just depends where your tension is in your body, where you feel this. For most people, it's going to be in the shoulders, in the arms. If you're going well, the chest comes to the mat. And just breathe. Such a great posture for opening the back, opening the front body. Now when you're ready, let's walk those hands back towards us. Let's bring the knees back, move towards the center of the mat. Finding that tabletop position again. Let's bend. I'm going to start with let's turn around on my mat so that you can see. Starting with the right side. I was going to start with the left side so that you guys could see, but then it seems weird to start with the left side of the body. So we're going to bring the ball of the right foot onto the mat, just behind the left knee. And a little gap between the knee and the foot. We're going to press back. So you're just going to work into our hips a little bit here. Move forward, pivot on the ball of the right foot, send the knee out, then move back again. Move forward. Then we're going to straighten that right leg back and press back through that right heel. So really stretching through the calf, stretching through the leg. Then bringing that right foot back just behind that left knee. Take an inhale. Let's try to do it with the breath now. As we exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot the foot out, turn the knee out. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward, straighten that right leg back. Exhale, press through that right heel, stretching through that back leg. Inhale, bring that right foot back onto the mat. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot that right foot out. Exhale, press back. Work through that hip. Inhale, move forward. Send that right foot back. Exhale, work through that calf. Press back. Inhale, bring that right foot back. Exhale. Inhale, move forward. Right foot pivots out. Exhale, press back. Work through that right hip. Inhale, move forward. Send that right foot back. Exhale, press through that right calf. Inhale, we'll bring that right foot back. Exhale. Inhale, move forward. Right knee goes out. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Send the right foot back. Exhale, press that heel back. Inhale, we'll do one more round. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot that right foot out. Exhale, press back. Work through that hip. Inhale, send the right foot back. Exhale. Let's press, let's pulse here. For 2, 3, 4, 5, bring that right knee back to the mat. And we'll do the same on the other side. Again, just stay where you are on your mat. I'm just turning around so that you can see me a little bit more clearly. So that left foot now is coming just behind that right knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot on that right foot, turn the knee out. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Send the left foot back. Exhale, press back through that heel. Wake up that leg. Inhale, bring the right foot back. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Knee turns out. Exhale, press back. Work through that hip. Inhale. Send that left foot back. Exhale, press back through that heel. Good. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Knee goes out. Exhale, move back. Inhale, move forward. Send that left foot back. Exhale, press with that heel. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot that knee out. Exhale, press back. Feel that opening in that hip. Inhale, forward. Send the left foot back. Exhale, press through that heel. Good. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Knee goes out. Exhale, move back. Inhale, move forward. Send that left foot back. Exhale, press back through that heel. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, press back. This is the last round. Inhale, move forward. Knee falls out. Exhale, press back. Inhale, move forward. Left foot goes back. Exhale, let's pulse. For 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's send the right foot back to meet the left. Let's press back through those heels. And then let's lift up. And we'll find our downward facing dog. Option to pedal the legs. Option to move those hips side to side. And we'll walk the hands forward. Walk the feet forward, to the hands. Inhale, find length through your spine. And exhale. Let's take a forward fold. As always, bend the knees as much as you need to in your forward fold. We'll take hold of opposite elbows to find our ragdoll. And again, as always in your ragdoll, option to find stillness or option to sway. Releasing the elbows, allow the arms to be floppy. And we're going to start to roll up to standing. Nice and slowly. Yeah, should we do some sun salutations? First thing in the morning. Always nice to do sun salutations any time of the day. Let's inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Take the arms out to the side. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, we'll just step straight back into our downward facing dog. Hold a few breaths. Connect to the body. Look to the hands. Inhale, walking the feet forward. Let's keep those feet hips width apart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up. Reaching those arms high. And exhale. Inhale, take the arms up. Nice and wide. Exhale, we'll bring hands to prayer and we'll come forward through our prayer this time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step the feet back. Let's find a high plank. Inhale. And exhale, drop knees, chest, chin, point toes. Inhale, move forward, finding your cobra, baby cobra. So try to keep the lower ribs connected to the mat, elbows back. And exhale, tuck in the toes under, press the hips back and up, and find your downward dog. A few breaths here. Navel is drawing back towards the spine. Maybe you want to turn your head left and right. Just waking up the neck. And looking between your hands. Inhale, walk your feet to the hands. Again, let's keep the feet hips width apart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Reaching those arms high. Exhale, keep those arms high. Let's take hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, find length. And as we exhale, we're going to send the hips to the left as we pull on that left wrist and move to the right. So just working through the side body, through that side flexion. Inhale, come back to center, switch the wrist, take the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, find length. And exhale, let's move the hips right as we lean out to the left. Just be mindful that we're not starting to fall chest to the floor here. Keep the chest nice and open with the top of the mat. Inhale, move through center. Exhale, release the wrist. Inhale, reach those arms high again. And exhale, folding forward and bend to the knees as you fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, we'll step the feet back, finding that high plank again. Inhale, in your high plank. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, all the way to the mat. Point the toes. And inhale, move forward, baby cobra. And exhale, tucking toes under, send the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths in your downward dog. Check the navel is drawing towards the spine. Find that vacuum in the abdomen. And looking between your hands. Inhale, walk, feet to the hands. Again, feet, hips width apart. Extend through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come up. Reaching those hands nice and high. And exhale, release. Let's come into chair. Let's take the arms out in front. Palms facing each other. And let's sit back. Into that chair. Nice and easy. Just going as deep as feels comfortable for you this morning. Just a way to wake up the legs a little bit. Waking up the hips, the glutes. Inhale. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, plant the hands, and we'll step the feet back, finding your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, point toes. Inhale, move forward, find your cobra. Maybe you're going to come up a little bit more. And exhale, tucking your toes under, pressing the hips back and up into that downward facing dog. Let's bring that right foot forward. As forward as you can. It doesn't matter if you don't make it all the way to the top of the mat. We'll drop the left knee on the mat. So we're finding a lunge position. But this is going to be different. So my friend Ashley, you can find Ashley on Instagram, Ashley Van Dyke. If you're following me, look who I follow and you'll find her there. She's a great teacher. She's a yoga teacher and Pilates teacher. At the moment, she's doing, every day she's doing like her 5 key movements, and she did this yesterday. And I said to her, I'm going to include that in my class tomorrow. It's a really, really nice way to do a lunge. Usually, and she calls this the lazy lunge. Our lunge is like this. It's working through that hip flexor, and you're getting a stretch through the front of the hip. We're going to try something different. We're going to try Ashley's lunge. And this is really, really different. It's really, really nice. So the focus is on, for me, I felt it more intensely in my quadricep. We're not going to be pushing forward with this left hip. We're going to keep this left hip more over the knee. We're going to press through that right heel, and we're going to tuck the tailbone under. So really try to pull that tailbone under, squeeze in that left glute, and hollow in the abdomen. And we're just going to stay here. We'll hold 5 breaths, something like this. You can bring hands onto that leg and really drive through that right heel, and notice how that changes the stretch in the front of that left leg. It can be quite intense. Keep drawing the navel in, keep tucking that tailbone under, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that left glute. We'll hold a few more breaths if you can. It's really intense for me. One more breath. And exhale, release. Let's switch the legs. Nice and easy. Just send that right knee back. Bring the left. And again, it's not a lazy lunge, as Ashley calls it. It's Ashley's lunge. That's what we're going to call it, Ashley's lunge. So again, the right knee is over the ankle. And let's turn this way. Right knee over the ankle. And again, the focus is on tucking. Tuck that tailbone under. Really roll those hip bones up. Draw the navel in. Hollow out the body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that right glute. And hold. So intense through my quadricep right now. Breathe into it. Keep the work going. Keep driving through that left heel. Or hold a few more breaths if you can. Can you tuck that tailbone under a little bit more? Can you draw that navel in? Can you find that hollowing in the body? 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And release. Good. Was that a little bit more intense for you? It certainly was for me. So that's Ashley's lunge. Ashley, Ashley. Ashley Van Dyke, as in Dick Van Dyke. She's a wonderful girl who I met in India a couple of years ago. And yeah, follow her. She's got some great tips on her channel. She's doing videos every day now. So give her a follow. Enough of that promoting. We're just going to bring our hands back onto the mat. Let's tuck the toes under and send the hips back and up and find our downward dog. Inhale. And exhale. Let's walk those feet back towards the hands. Feet, hips width apart. Extend through your spine halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale to come all the way up to standing. Take the arms wide. Reach the arms overhead. Reach through those fingertips. And exhale, release. Let's take a little balance. Nice and easy balance. Just interlacing the fingers in front of that right shin. Nice and easy. Take your time getting into your balance. As always, gaze to a fixed point ahead on the floor or on the wall in front of you to help keep your balance. Soften the shoulders. And see if you can switch on that left glute. See if you can drive that heel down. See if you can find a little bit more length through your spine. Nothing crazy this morning. Just improving our concentration, improving our balance. And it doesn't matter if you fall out, you just have another go. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring the left hand onto the hip. And as we inhale, let's open that hip up. It doesn't matter if you fall out. And keeping that left leg strong. You're just working the strength through that left leg. Working length through your spine. Inhale, let's bring the right leg back in. And exhale, releasing the leg. And we'll drop that right foot onto the mat. The left side. Interlace fingers in front of the left shin. And again, when you're there, when you've got your balance, then you're just going inside and you're tweaking. So tweaking from the foot all the way up. So is there equal weight on the ball and the heel? Is the calf working? Is the quadricep working? The glute working? Are the bandas on? Is the spine long? Are the shoulders relaxed? Are you reaching through the crown of the head? Can you feel this all the way through the body? Not a single bit of the body being left out. Everything working into this posture. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring the right hand onto the hip. Left hand comes inside that knee now. And let's open that hip up. And again, still keeping this right leg working. There's a tendency when we take the leg out to the left that the right hip starts to stick out. And this is when the glutes aren't engaged. So we really want to try to keep those glutes switched on. Keep those hips pressing forward. Okay, making sure those bandas are still on. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. Exhale, release the leg. And lower the foot to the mat. Good stuff. Let's make our way to seated through a full sun salutation. So we can keep in those feet, hips width apart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, step in the feet back, finding that high plank. Inhale. Exhale, drop knees, chest, chin. Point the toes, move it forward, finding your cobra, your baby cobra, or coming up a little bit more now. If you feel the body's a bit more open. And exhale. Tucking toes under, pressing the hips back and up. Finding that downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Drop knees to the mat. Shift the feet to the left. Plonk the bum down. If it feels good, come into the mat this way. And just make your way nice and easy to a seated position. Let's work into our forward fold a little bit here. So, feet together, the toes pulling back towards the body. As always in our forward fold, we're trying to move from the hips. Again, if you're really tight in the hamstrings, sit on a block, and that will just help get those hips moving forward a little bit more here. And inhale, find length through your spine. Exhale, let's fold. And again, we're just trying to get some mobility into the hips. So think of moving the hips forward, drawing the sit bones back. And we'll just stay here. Option to take the feet, or you can just leave the hands on the mat either side of the legs. And keeping the navel in. Keep that breath going. Now coming all the way back up. Let's take the hands behind the back. Let's point the fingers towards the body. Let's bring the feet onto the mat. We're going to get those feet hips distance apart again. We're going to come into reverse table. This is going to work on our shoulder extension. So before we come into reverse table, send the shoulders forward, then try to open the chest up a little bit here. And we're going to just lift the hips up as much as we can. When you're ready, inhale, lifting the hips up. So the knees come over the ankles and we find extension through those shoulders. Pressing the hips nice and high. Keeping chin to the chest. Or you can drop the head, look to the ceiling. Try to stay nice and long through the neck here. Let's hold for a few breaths. That can be quite intense, especially if you're tight in the shoulders. One more breath. And lowering those hips. We'll come back down. Good stuff. Let's bring our feet together. Let's work into external rotation and abduction of the hips in our Baddha Konasana. So taking the feet, and again, if those knees are high, maybe this is your Baddha Konasana, sometimes called butterfly or cobbler's pose. Then you're here, you're just working the heart forward, working into those hips. Otherwise, as always, if you have a little bit more in the hips, open the soles of the feet up to the ceiling like you're reading a book. And just working through those hips. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, let's round. Rounding through the spine. Moving the forehead towards the feet. Option to use the elbows on the thighs to encourage those knees down. But think of just sending the knees wide energetically. Send them as far away from each other as you can. And we'll hold a few more breaths. One more breath. And inhale, coming up. Exhale. Let's bring the left hand behind the back. Let's take the right hand onto the left knee, a little twist. Inhale, find length. And exhale, twist. And gazing over your left shoulder. And let's stay, let's move with the breath here. Inhale to create a little bit more length. And exhale to press a little bit deeper. Working through the upper back. See if you can breathe into the upper back. Breathe in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, coming back to front. And exhale. Switching sides. Right hand behind the back. Left hand onto that right knee. Inhale, find length. And exhale. Twist. Gaze over your shoulder. And inhale, looking back to the front. Exhale, release. Let's come into wide-legged. So as always, no box splits, nothing crazy, just a leg's distance between your feet. Flexing those ankles, pull the toes back to the body. Make sure you're on your sit-bones. Again, with any kind of forward fold, you can sit on a block if your hamstrings are tight. Inhale, find length. And exhale, let's move forward. Again, think of pulling the hips back as you send the heart forward. Try to keep length through your spine. Always try to keep the integrity of the upper back. Try not to round through the back and collapse in the chest. Unless you're told to by a teacher, I always think it's good to keep the chest open. I find if you collapse the chest, sometimes you escape the posture a little bit. You escape the work in the hips. Maybe moving a little bit deeper if that feels good. And just checking that the feet aren't starting to turn in or turn out, that they're pointing to the ceiling. And we'll stay a few more breaths. Walking the hands back towards us. Let's bring the feet together. And we'll make our way down to a lying down position with control. Hands towards the feet. Draw the navel in. Make sure those bandhas are on flexion through your spine as you come to lie down. Nice and steady. Let's take the hands onto the mat. Bring the hands underneath the buttocks, palms facing down, and we'll send the feet towards the ceiling. We're coming into a pike position. So again, if you're used to my classes, I want you to make sure that the lower back is connecting to the mat. So really draw the navel in, really tuck the tailbone under, connect that lower back to the mat. If you're a little bit hyper curved in the lower back, you have a little bit of a natural anterior pelvic tilt, then you may want to keep the hands underneath the buttocks to provide a little bit of support for your lower back here. We're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, keep that lower back pressing into the mat. We're going to lower the legs just halfway towards the mat, and we're going to hold it there if we can. Just working that core strength, working that leg strength. Again, if it's too much, you can bend the knees a little bit here as well. Let's hold 2 more breaths if we can. And inhale, bring the legs back up. Exhale, let's lower them again. Option to take it to the previous place. Again, keeping that lower back connected. Option to lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Maybe lowering the legs a little bit more. Finding that dish to the body and holding for 3. For 2, keep pulling that lower back down. For 1, and release. Feet to the mat. We'll take those heels wide. Take up space with the arms. Bring the shoulder blades under the back so the chest is open. And we'll come into our final posture, our Shavasana. So now you can just release your bandhas, release your Ujjayi breath. Give the breath back to the subconscious. And maybe give the jaw a wiggle here. There's no tension in the face. And just allow your body to be heavy, supported by the earth. Shavasana means corpse pose. The idea of taking a Shavasana at the end of our practice is that we die a little bit every day to be reborn after our practice. A little bit wiser, a little more humble, and grateful. Grateful for being alive. Dying a little bit every day. We appreciate life, not taking it for granted. Knowing that it can all go in an instant without warning. It's a lesson to let go of those things that don't serve us, that steal our energy. Maybe a job that we don't enjoy anymore. Maybe a poisonous person in our lives. It's not about hating. It's about moving away from those things. Finding purpose, finding meaning in our own life. So that we can live a contented, a happy life without regret. So that when that time comes, when death comes, and it will, we can let go. Happy that we did our best. As morbid as that seems, this is the practice of yoga. To recognize our mortality. To recognize how precious life is. Ensuring that we don't waste it. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale the breath completely, connect the navel to the spine. Inhale the breath into your heart space. Exhale the breath into the fingertips, the toes. And begin to wiggle the fingers and toes as you bring life back to your body once again. As I said, to be reborn. So rotate the wrists and the ankles. And bringing your legs together, taking your arms overhead. That deep stretch. And we'll draw the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a squeeze. And let's be grateful for what we have. Let's be grateful for our health, for our body as it is. Let's not judge our bodies. Let's not compare ourselves to anybody else. Let's show complete self-love. And let's be happy that we're alive right now. And let's rock from side to side. And we'll rock to our right hand side. Finding comfort on your right hand side when you're ready. And making our way back to a comfortable seated cross-legged position. And we'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center. And we'll finish as always with an Om and 3 Shantis. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Using your hands to your head for kindness in your thoughts, to yourselves first and foremost, and to others. Hands to your hearts for kindness in your actions, and to your lips for kindness in your words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this Sunday morning and practicing with me. I hope you all feel a little bit more open in your bodies, a little bit calmer in your mind. And as I mentioned, don't take life for granted. It can be taken away from us in an instant. It's important that we make sure that we're being true to ourselves and that we're not wasting our time on this planet. As far as we know, we get one chance at it. So yeah, do make sure that you're not wasting your life. As always, thank you for practicing with me. Please like the video. That helps with my the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What else is there? Please follow Ashley Van Dyke on Instagram and look out for her videos. That's Ashley, Ashley, Ashley Van Dyke. She's a great teacher. And what else? Oh, if you want to donate, as always, please feel free to donate. I will add the link in the description afterwards, but it's paypal.me/raw yoga. And as always, please don't donate if you can't afford it, if you're if you are very stable in your job at the moment. Of course, please, these are free classes and I'm just giving them to you. I just enjoy doing them and it's just nice for me to continue to be able to teach. So, message coming through. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Sally. Stay safe to you. And yes, I think that's it. So have a wonderful Sunday. Wrap up warm. It looks absolutely freezing out there. And I shall see some of you tomorrow evening. If you're joining me tomorrow evening, it will be a vinyasa flow class tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing some of you then. Thank you guys. Namaste, namaste, namaste.